So, hello everyone. Just a short test. Do you hear me? Perfect. Thanks a lot. It's a pleasure to be here. And I'm also very thankful to have Jan from Canadivia Innova here at stage. Let me ask first a short question. How many of you, and please raise the hand, has spent more than 2 hours to find critical data in your carrier? How many of you? So almost everyone, huh? Seems this is a typical challenge, and we would like to highlight few of those aspects that my colleague Jan was facing actually on an everyday in his previous situations. So let me give a little bit of an overview how we want to demonstrate how we broke down in this the data silos in just 90 days and become more data-driven, more data-centric organization. I will introduce shortly. Maybe Jan give a few words on your role and also on the journey that we did together.
Thank you, Tom. Warm welcome from my side as well. My name is Jan Scheuermeier. I work at Canadivia Innova. I'll give you a bit of insights into what we do as a company later on. My role at Canadivia Innova was to do with Tom the data journey project, where we tackled some fundamental challenges when it came to data and data analytics and reporting. And I'm currently building a team that is making sure that we can really unlock the potential of our data with AI, advanced analytics, and so on.
Just a few words to myself. So I'm working at BearingPoint since more than 17 years, always dealing with data, analytics, and AI. I'm a cross-services tech partner, so I'm really also trying to tackle business topics from a technical point of view. And well, I'm doing that almost, yeah, as I say, more than 17 years. Just few highlights on the client and the respective context where we are coming from. Maybe Jan give some few reflections what the business is about and how complex in the current real world you deal with the data. Yeah.
Has anyone heard of Canadivia Innova? Raise your hands if anyone has heard about us. Okay, very cool. So generally, we are a green tech company, which means we treat waste. We treat municipal waste and we treat bio waste, and we try to get something out of it. So we build plants where we can burn municipal waste and get energy out of it, heat out of it. And we do that all around the world. So we are an international company. We are operating in Australia, in the US, in Europe, in the Middle East, and we have been growing massively over the past 10 years. If we look at the growth pattern, we are now at 3,300 people. We had to adjust this number about 4 times in preparation to this event, because we have grown from 500 people 6-7 years ago to now 3,500. So we are growing in people, we are growing in revenue, and we are growing in countries that we serve, and we're growing in projects that we do. All of that brings enormous challenges when it comes to harmonization of systems, harmonization of processes, and so on. And when we started the project about 1.5 years ago, we reached a bit of a tipping point, because the pains that we have were growing so high that we had to do something. But more on that a bit later on.
Yeah. And the very interesting point is that almost every month, Jan and the sponsors of our program come to us and say, well, we have bought another company or a set of companies. So this is really a rising star in the clean tech industry. And the interesting thing is it's full rich of data. So all the let's say plants, these waste to energy plants are having heavy data, IoT, for predictive maintenance, and this is all also untapped potential for the maintenance and asset management perspectives. A little bit of facts on BearingPoint. So we are a management and technology company, fully independent, partner-owned. We are operating more than 24 countries with 6,500 BearingPoint employees, and we are technology independent. This is also, I think, why, in particular in this data journey that we call, was highly appreciated by our client to get a true perspective on the variety of options, on the tangible solution, let's say, outcomes, and we focus on sustainable business value. Of course, with lots of technology partners like S&P. And in this project, in this engagement, it was crucial to set really the stage on very important, very reliable, very stable collaboration and cooperation. So, just a reflection on what's happening currently in the market. We see a lot of, and this was very inspiring speech before, we see a lot of disruption. Why is the disruption there? Because we have been talking about how many years? 25 years on intelligence, business intelligence, analytics, data-driven, and so forth. But now it's really a game changer. We see that there is a move from traditional organizational setups or operating models to more augmented companies. It is all over the place, in every segment. Just to reflect on what's happening in this particular business domain, on cleantech companies, which is, we have also seen, very important, renewable energy, and also in terms of sustainability, because we only have one planet, right? There's no alternative. If you deploy things, new technologies, and AI, we see an efficiency gain of more than 40%, for instance, in the renewable energy capacity. If you integrate grid intelligence, how to allocate, you can reduce the time by 75%. And if you also increase the efficiency gain by for the storage of electricity, there is also a gain of 10 to 12% of efficiency. More on that, we have done also a very compelling augmented organization study for each and every kind of segment. Please feel free and scan the code. You can download it, and we can also go more in detail. So, what are the main challenges actually that we see to adopt into an augmented organization? And we will see it also along the way how we tackle that. So there are lots of manual inefficient processes. There are siloed IT systems. The data is in different granularities, very fragmented. Every kind of business domain is sitting on their own data vault or data asset, but the end-to-end kind of life cycle is not given. Even in some regulated environments, and I guess this is also highly regulated, because if such a plant explodes, it's
not too well for us.
It's not so good, exactly. There are some security and compliance risks to be tackled. There is also what we see a lot of, and in particular this also links nicely to the previous speech, to the leadership, how literate are management or C-level people on data, on analytics, on AI, potentials, on insights. This is something that we see also very often. There is also a lot of legacy that we were, I think, hearing from every presentation in the last 2 days. Always the new cycle to implement into the legacy IT into a modern data system. And of course, you need to tackle also data governance and data quality aspects as well. Well, what we see is the reality is that people are spending 60 to 80% of their time trying to find data, the right data, right? And I think when we started 1 year ago and we talked about the engagement, it was in particular from two domains, from finance and supply chain. They had the same problems. And they were already like pre-discussing this. How can they together, jointly work on such a topic to bridge and solve this topic? Maybe Jan, tell us about the initial challenges.
Let me set the scene so you understand our challenges. Our CEO said in the first town hall that I was attending when I joined the company 3 years ago that we are a technology company at heart. But he wasn't talking about software, he wasn't talking about data automations. He was talking about boilers, grades, flue gas treatment, stuff that I had absolutely no idea of what it was. Because it's the industrial technology with which we built the plant. And there we are world class. But when it comes to data management, software development, the digital side of things, then I wouldn't say we are world class. And Tom said it, we started the whole data journey project with the two domains of finance and supply chain because they had the biggest challenges as kind of supporting functions to us building plants. One of the big challenges we had is that there was a lack of transparency. We had reportings, we had dashboards, etc. But did we really understand where the data came from? Did we really understand why the data was what it was? Probably not, because it was all done manually. There was no automation in it. We had a big issue on data quality, because if you do everything manually, well, 1 month it might look like this, and the other month it would look like that. And because of the quality that is probably not the best, you also, again, lacked on the transparency side. If we can do a bit of role-playing, think that you are a financial leader in a country. You work in an organization locally in Germany, 50 employees, and you are solely responsible for the financial part. You are very motivated, you are highly intelligent, and every month when it came to closing, you had to manually get your data from your SAP system, manually transform it somehow in an Excel, manually upload it into a financial consolidation system just to see that the report that was created out of it was wrong because you miscalculated a number somewhere. How frustrating is that? Who knows how frustrating that is? I mean, this is not how we want intelligent people to operate. So we came to a point where this pain was getting too big and we wanted to do something about it. And that's why we started the Data Journey project, so we can give people time at the right place in the value chain so that they can actually analyze a report to create insights instead of spending the entire time on getting the data into the report.
And maybe also just one note on that. So it was not that there was no systems in place. It was indeed the opposite. There were more than 16 different ERP systems already handling the complex processes like cash flow forecasting for these big 3-digit number million projects and handling invoices of thousands of suppliers and so forth. So it was already some sort of digitalization maturity already there, but it was fragmented. So what we did and how did we do it? So we call it a data journey assessment. Before anything happened, we recommended to Canadevia Innova to do a proper data journey assessment, which means in order to know what sort of data or business capabilities we want to tackle with the technology, we would like to see where we stand and what's the strategic kind of goal to tackle through the technology. Technology is just an enabler, but it still needs to be linked into the business strategy point of view. That's one. There is also one very important fact, which we have not yet said, is that the IT, let's say, capabilities at Canadevia were not massive like we have seen in the other, let's say, presentations. We started at how many?
IT employees, we had 15.
15, 1-5, yeah?
Now we are a lot more, but not in the data domain.
Exactly, but that meant that we had to grow also an operating model, how to operate this modern, let's say, data platform in the end. So in our data journey assessment, we do like these 3 dimensions: data capabilities, the data architecture, modern data platform, technology aspects, how to combine all the components together, how to integrate to existing systems like ERPs. Plus, we also tackle the operating model and the capability and skill point of view. So luckily, I think we have a holistic view after just 4 or 5 weeks, actually. We also already know what's the ultimate or ideal state of the to-be picture. And then we also can kind of justify and recommend a concrete incremental roadmap to the client. That is our data journey assessment, which is very proven, and I highly recommend it to everyone before buying any kind of tool beforehand, yeah? To have this in place, because it is very essential. And I think we saved some costs.
I can 100% confirm that. Having done this assessment was an eye-opener. In the assessment, we saw capabilities that we didn't have, that we didn't even know exist. Because we were not a mature company when it comes to data. And you could either be crushed by the fact that you have so many things that you need to tackle, but what we saw is we saw potential. There are so many things that we can do better, and we have such an amazing vision as a company, which is a future free of wasted waste, that we also wanted to apply to everything we do with data. Because manual work that has to be repeated month after month, let's be honest, in the end, it's wasted potential of people. And the assessment that we have done together has shown us a lot of areas where we can improve, but it has also given us a roadmap on how we can tackle what's really important to eventually get there. Because it's a long road, it's a journey.
Yeah, and you see also a little bit the light blue items. So we all, of course, don't treat just pure data, but we consider that also in the current AI, Gen AI perspective as well. So how can this future target be fueled with also AI and Gen AI enablement and cases? Of course, everyone is dreaming, everyone is talking about it, but you need to have the foundation. And you can't see it, but on this roadmap, we also differentiate in 3 levels. We have like the data foundational enablers, we have strategic triumphs, and we are having quick wins that are tangible also for the business to justify also the business case. So this is like the journey. It's starting with an assessment, which is taking between 4 to 6 weeks, and then it's being prioritized together with the client, justified, okay, how and where do we invest, in what kind of tangible business outcomes you want to invest. In the area or in the domain of finance and supply chain, we, together with the client, we decided to first get the things right for finance and supply chain. Meaning we had to combine, merge all these 16 different ERPs into a modern data platform to create true business insights in a very modern reporting solution. But of course, there was nothing in there. So there was no platform, there was no data integration, there was no S&P and nothing. So we did a proper vendor selection, very objective one, I think. We have also validated it with Gartner, and they also confirmed actually what we said, but it's good. So it was very objective, let's say, selection. For the data platform, we choose Snowflake, and for the data integration along other tools, we also choose S&P, which we will also come later, which was essential. And this is then the scale-up project that we call, that is bringing really tangible results. 50% of increased data confidence. I think the story you mentioned yesterday about the supply chain and the CFO talking together, maybe just...
I can give you a bit of insights. On the supply chain side, our use case was to have an automated supply chain dashboard, with the most important KPIs for supply chain to run its business. Previously, it took them 3 months to update the dashboard. Now, if you look at 3 months of data, well, probably not too accurate. You can probably do a lot of insights on it, and especially you cannot expand on it. Now we have a fully automated dashboard. We integrate more data than we had before, so from more legal entities, from more source systems, and we have it real time. So there was a meeting this week with a VP of supply chain, who is one of the big sponsors of the project, our CFO and our CEO, and they were so impressed simply by the VP going through the dashboard and showing them what he now is able to understand, that we immediately got approved another additional resource for our data office, which kind of shows just having that one dashboard, which if we look at the whole thing is a very small part, can have such a high business impact also for the top management, because you create that transparency. You create that environment where you can actually do business insights and not just gather data manually with many people. So that was an eye-opener, and there, of course, the data confidence of them is much higher, because we can tell them exactly why the numbers that are in the dashboard are in the dashboard.
Yeah. So I briefly already touched on it. On the assessment, we do a proper look at the current architecture from a technology point of view. So how much of the technical debt needs to be really migrated, or how much of like a greenfield standard approach are you allowing in the respective context. I think in this situation it was even more complex, because on another side there is a big one ERP, let's say, implementation project, which is migrating from one ERP into a new modern ERP, which is then also stressing the whole organization. And it can't be that in this time of, let's say, 2-3 years, for all these entities, there's no fast decision business making like what we enabled in the end. Yeah. What I want to definitely recommend, and we have seen that in every presentation, I would say, is a true collaborative partnership with vendors like S&P, for instance. Or on our journey, it was also together with like Snowflake, which was building the platform, and it had to be a platform that is easily scalable. Yeah, easily scalable, because we started from scratch. Yeah, and S&P was crucial because we had a lot of SAP systems to be connected on real time, on real time, so in change data capture method. And we had to then build, of course, on top of it, very modern reporting dashboards to create these insights. And of course, these insights brought immediate impact, immediate value. That was highly valued. Yeah. So we had set up not only like the architectural components. We defined the operating model together with Jan, the data officer. We defined the respective roles that are necessary to operate, like in terms of data governance. We also enabled the people, and is now not so obvious, but we are talking about also business applications that are covering more than 500 project engineers on a daily life. Meaning this was built on top of this platform, because unfortunately, I can't say that, but the standard tools didn't provide this functionality, unfortunately. But there are reasons. There were like a lot of selections and down selections and so forth. And the final outcome was, no, we need this business application which is sitting on top, and it is doing project engineering, project forecasting, project controlling features.
Let me quickly tap into the data operating model, because I think this is really, really crucial. Technology on the one side is important. Without the technology, you can't make the use cases happen. But if you really want to build something sustainable, where you're not just looking at the use cases that you already know of, but if you want to build something where you can tackle what you're not even aware of, then having an operating model and a department or a team that is looking after that in the long run and making also the executive management aware that this is not a one-time thing, but this is something that you build up for the future and it will not go away as a topic or as a project, is really, really crucial. And that's also one thing that with your help, we were able to make them understand that we are in for the long run, and this doesn't work if you don't have a proper operating model.
Let me give you the opportunity, in particular, Jan, on looking on the results in the remaining 2 minutes.
We started development 9 months ago. And if we look at what we have achieved in those 9 months, it's quite crazy. If I have to take the key takeaways from it is that we evaluated and built our data platform, which is not only important for the use cases we have now, but it is starting to enable us to also tap into other use cases we have around the company. So having that strong foundation with the platform is definitely crucial. Same as with the data office. My role didn't exist 3 months ago. So defining that target operating model, making people understand that we need a team or a department looking after all things data analytics is a very big win. And then, of course, we have our automated data pipelines, we have our automated dashboard, we have automated financial consolidation processes that is freeing so much time from our business users, which is an amazing success. And with all of that we've done, we've also kicked off quite a lot of discussions that weren't there before. We kicked off discussion on data governance. We kicked off discussion on data culture. And these are all things that we started thanks to Data Journey and thanks to the collaboration that will enable us to really move on in the area of data.
So I highly encourage you looking into those more business value-driven transformation, which we called the data journey. Of course, as I said, data also includes AI, Gen AI, don't worry about that. We tackle that all, I guess. And I would say we are really, I would say on some areas on top of the things, we know the strong partners to rely on, and also actually looking back, we also more than happy to have very happy clients and customers. Thank you very much.
Thank you.